695.2 trillion rupiah.
Towards the end of 2020, the National Economic Recovery Budget has not been completely absorbed. The Finance Minister only said that 62.1% or equivalent to 431.45 trillion rupiah has been absorbed. Specifically speaking, Sri Mulyani explained that the budget at the Ministry of Health had only been realized by 41.2%, and the rest will be used as the reserve for vaccinations financing next year. While the Ministry of Social won the first place by realizing 88%, mainly for the social aids. And Sri Mulyani is optimistic that the Ministry of Social's budget can be absorbed by 100% by the end of 2020.
Program untuk perlindungan sosial yang tadi telah saya sampaikan sudah terrealisir 207,8 triliun dari 233 triliun. Ini artinya 88,9% sudah tercairkan. Dan sampai dengan Desember kemungkinan 100% akan bisa terrealisir karena memang masyarakat yang membutuhkan sesuai dengan yang sudah diidentifikasikan dan datanya akan mendapatkan bantuan dari pemerintah tersebut.
Sri Mulyani reminded the public to remain obedient to the health protocols so that the National Economic Recovery Fund that have been disbursed by the government effectively reduce the impact of the spread of coronavirus. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu, IDX Channel.
The Directorate General of Taxes ensures that around 450,000 taxpayers, both individual and corporate, have taken advantage of tax incentives provided in 2020. The government calls on business actors to be able to take advantage of tax incentives that have been published by the government based on data from the Directorate General of Taxes up to December. It was recorded that as many as 450,000 taxpayers and small businesses have received various tax incentives provided by the government. Various incentives have been given. For instance, income tax incentives that have been used by 107,000 taxpayers, while tax incentives for small businesses have been used by 176,000 taxpayers. The Director General of Taxes explains the various tax incentives provided is expected to help people survive the pandemic.
Saya juga sampaikan bahwa ada sekitar 450.000 jumlah wajib pajak yang memanfaatkan insentif perpajakan yang
Bio Farma estimates that the first injection of the COVID-19 vaccine will be in February 2021. The vaccination will be carried out after an emergency use authorization has been granted by the Food and Drug Administration.
The COVID-19 vaccine refers to the newly arrived Sinovac. The vaccinations will be carried out after emergency use authorizations has been granted by the Food and Drug Administrations. But however, the head corporate communications Biopharma, Iwan Setiawan, predicted that the authorizations will be done by the end of January 2021. And therefore, they believed that the vaccine rollout will not be so far from the authorization's date. And therefore, Biopharma estimates that the first injections of COVID-19 vaccine will be in February 2021. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Other than newly arrived Sinovac, local pharmaceutical company Biopharma continues to seek additional COVID-19 vaccines, whereas the company will bolster alliance with another vaccine developer, namely Novavax from the United States.
Local pharmaceutical company Biopharma will bolster alliance with another vaccine developer, namely Novavax from the United States. This was conveyed by the President Director of Biopharma, Honesty Bashir, at the Mark Plus conference. His party has received a commitment from Novavax to 30 million doses of vaccine. He said that in near future, he would also discuss with the other vaccine developers. For instance, Pfizer, and AstraZeneca. So far, the company has secured 125 million doses of vaccine by 2021, consisting of 122 million doses produced at Biopharma and 3 million doses are imported. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Sebetulnya industri hilir itu lokal itu udah siap. Jadi pemerintah juga nggak perlu lagi menarik investor untuk industri hilir. Jadi pemerintah cukup menarik investor untuk industri bahan baku.
Senang sekali saya David San Oval dan dapat hadir menemani Anda dalam program spesial dialog webinar on TV.
Setiap minggunya kita akan membahas tema-tema yang sangat menarik. Apa kabar ibu-ibu sekalian?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Salah satu ambisi daripada Kementerian Koperasi dan UMKM bersama Spesco adalah koperasi keren, baru, digital, gitu kan, yang kita bisa IT.
Nama saya David San Oval, jabatan saat ini di IDX Channel adalah sebagai produser dan sekaligus presenter program yang dibawakan saat ini dengan nama IDX Second Season Closing, terkait juga dengan kondisi capital market Indonesia dan perkembangannya dari waktu ke waktu. Dan saya sangat senang untuk belajar dan berkecimpung di berita ekonomi, khususnya di capital market.
Welcome back. The government, through the Committee for the Acceleration of Priority Infrastructure Provision, claims to have completed 11 national strategic projects worth 135.2 trillion rupiah from January to early December 2020.
The Committee for the Acceleration of Priority Infrastructure Provision, or KPPIP, claims to have completed 11 national strategic projects worth 135.2 trillion rupiah during the period January to December 4, 2020. Deputy for Regional Development and Spatial Planning Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs, Wahyu Utomo, claimed that this achievement was running according to the target that had been adjusted at the beginning of the pandemic. He said that it was a positive achievement for the government in completing the national strategic project in the midst of a pandemic. In addition, the committee also claimed that it has also succeeded in pushing 6 projects to the preparation stage, including the Yogyakarta-Bawen Toll Road and the addition of the Solo-Yogyakarta-Kuloprogo Toll Road scope. Previously, KPPIP, which received the mandate to see the proposed national strategic projects, announced that 201 projects and 10 programs with a total investment value of more than 4,000 trillion rupiah have been designated as the latest national strategic projects list. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
The government continues to accelerate the completion of national strategic projects, including projects that have been set to be completed in 2020 or in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. And before we further talk about it, let's see all the national strategic projects which have been included in the government's plan. This is the Indonesia's national strategic projects that already implemented or realized by 2020, and it will be finished or targeted to be finished in 2024. As much as 10 programs distributed to 201 projects, and the project will be divided into 23 sectors, and the investment value of Indonesia's national strategic project as much as 4,809 trillion rupiah. And Coordinating Minister for the Economic Affairs, Erlangga Hartarto, said that the government had conducted a very careful evaluation of all national strategic projects proposal, taking into account all aspects and using various criteria, which are basic strategic and operational criteria, including having a strategic role in national development. In addition to establishing 201 projects, presidential regulation number 109 in 2020 also includes the development of 10 national strategic programs, which are indispensable to promote national economic growth and equity. So what are the 10 programs? Let's take it through the next graphic. This is the 10 programs of national strategic project. The first one is electricity infrastructure development. The second one is economic equalization, border area development, exit to access, road development, national tourism strategic area development, construction for processing waste into electrical energy, smelter development, national food supply improvement or food estate, super hub development, and regional development acceleration. And the 10 programs are correlated with total 201 strategic projects, which of course consider a number of things, including consideration of operational criteria, which include a quality feasibility study, having an investment value of more than 500 billion rupiah, and completion of construction by no later than the third quarter of 2024, except for projects in the oil and gas sector that can start construction by the third quarter of 2024. And the important criteria is play a role in supporting the center of economic activity. Meanwhile, a number of national strategic projects are claimed to have been successfully completed in 2020. And now let's move to the next graphic to find out the projects. This is Indonesia's national strategic projects completed in 2020. As much as 11 strategic or national strategic projects had been completed this year. The highest investment value in Indonesia's national strategic projects completed in 2020 is the Konawe Industrial Area. The investment value of the project as much as 67.5 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, the lowest investment value in Indonesia's national strategic projects completed in 2020 is Tukul Dam. The investment value of the project as much as 673.9 billion rupiah. The Committee for the Acceleration of Priority Infrastructure Provision stated that the completion of these projects was running according to the target, even though it was facing the COVID-19 pandemic. The committee also claimed to have succeeded in pushing 6 projects past the preparation stage, including the Yogyakarta-Bawen Toll Road and the addition of Solo-Yogyakarta-Kulon Progo Toll Road. Moreover, in the remaining few weeks at the end of 2020, the committee will continue to push for the completion of one more project. After revealing the achievements in 2020, the government announced a number of projects that are targeted to be completed in 2021. Let's take the next data in the next graphic. This is the target of national strategic project completion in 2021. As much as 34 projects targeted to be completed in 2021. The investment value as much as 400 trillion rupiah, and it will create 878,000 jobs. We compiled the data from Committee for the Acceleration of Priority Infrastructure Provision. The target for completion of 34 projects is the result of revisions where previously the government targeted 38 projects to be completed in 2021. The revision was carried out after considering various things, including the feasibility test process, which may take longer than the initial estimate. Meanwhile, related to the acceleration of the completion of national strategic projects in 2021, the government hopes that it will boost the economy through increased investment, employment, and industrial and tourism sector. And hopefully the acceleration of national strategic projects can be carried out well, and of course prioritize the advantage of the project for national economy and contribute to people welfare. Market Lines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
IDX Channel, the Indonesia Stock Exchange channel, is the authorized capital market channel in Indonesia. To give references to global investors, IDX Channel also presented the news about the dynamic of Indonesia's economy, business, and capital market in English. IDX Channel also have different types of programs. They are Special Dialogue, Market Opening, Market Review, IDX First Session Closing, IDX Second Session Closing, Market Headlines, and News Screen. IDX Channel is aired 24 hours a day with 5 hours live program from Indonesia Stock Exchange trading floor. Our vision and mission as the only capital market TV channel in Indonesia that is committed to improve the capital market knowledge in the country. News that had been delivered on IDX Channel can also be seen on our digital platforms, so you can give yourself an update about informations anywhere and everywhere. IDX Channel can be watched through Vision Channel, First Media Channel, IndiHome Channel, and Vision Plus, and also live streaming on idxchannel.com. IDX Channel provides information from around the world from different perspectives. We provide you various investment strategies, stock options, inspiring figures for your business references. IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel.
For our last segment at the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 5,983.93. Then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 5,983.92. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 5,933.7. In short, JCI went down 0.18%. Next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got Miss Industry as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 2.3%. Basic industry went up 0.25%, and agriculture as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 1.32%, and manufacture went down 0.82%. Moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. ANTM went up 7.31% to the level of 1,395 per share. Astra International went up 2.19% to the level of 5,825 per share. Agro went up 12.31% to the level of 730 per share. TENS went up 2.35% to the level of 1,205 per share. Meantime, this is the top losers for today's trading. We got HMSP went down 6.96% to the level of 1,670 rupiah per share. BBRI went down 1.59% to the level of 4,330 rupiah per share. Gudang Garam went down 6.99% to the level of 44,275 rupiah per share. Rent went down 3.85% to the level of 75 rupiah per share. And this is the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,130 rupiah, was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,031. In summary, rupiah went up 0.41%. During the first 9 months of 2020, Solusi Bangun Indonesia recorded an increase in net profit of 438 billion rupiah, or jumped up more than 100% from the same period in 2019.
During the first 9 months of 2020, Solusi Bangun Indonesia recorded an increase in net profit to 438 billion rupiah from 198.52 billion rupiah in the same period in 2019. The increase in company profits was supported by a decrease in total expenses amid decreased revenue. Based on the disclosure of information published by the Indonesia Stock Exchange, the total revenue of solusi-bound Indonesia in the third quarter of 2020 was recorded at 7.34 trillion rupiah, or lower than the position in the third quarter of 2019. However, the company was able to reduce the cost of goods sold during the first 9 months of this year to 5.28 trillion rupiah. Thus, the company's gross profit was recorded at 2.05 trillion rupiah, or an increase compared to the third quarter of 2019, which was valued at 1.94 trillion rupiah. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
Due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, toll road operator Jasa Marga projects this year's revenue and profit will be lower than the realization in 2019.
Due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, toll road operator Jasa Marga projects that this year's performance will be lower than 2019. According to the President Director of Jasa Marga, Subakti Syukur, the company has made various efforts and strategies to continuously improve the company's performance. However, the director acknowledged that the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic caused a decrease in the volume of toll road traffic and had a sufficient impact on performance. As a result, toll revenues are projected to be 20% lower than in 2019, in line with lower traffic volumes, and it will impact on the company's net profit, which is projected to fall proportionally. As an illustration, in 2019, Jasa Marga recorded revenues of 26.34 trillion rupiah. The toll roads contributed 10.13 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, net profit in 2019 was recorded at 2.2 trillion rupiah. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
After changing its name to BRI Dana Reksa Sekuritas, the company's management emphasized to focus on conduct development that leads to an increase in the number of domestic investors.
After changing its name to BRI Dana Reksa Sekuritas, the management immediately launched a new service, namely the Sharia online trading system. This step is the company's commitment in developing retail investors going forward, in line with the emergence of domestic investors in stock transactions amid the COVID-19 pandemic, which is based on data. Almost 66% of the stock transaction value is dominated by domestic investors, and 44% of the transaction value is dominated by retail investors. President Director of BRI Dana Reksa Sekuritas Friederika Widiasar revealed that the start of the rise of domestic investors amid this pandemic is an opportunity that must be utilized properly.
Sangat menarik ya, dan juga ini kabar gembira adalah frekuensi transaksi harian ya, yang tadinya rata-rata tahun lalu ya 400.000, kemudian naik 500.000 per hari, sekarang sudah rata-rata 400.000 per hari. Bahkan beberapa hari terakhir kemarin ada angka yang mengejutkan sampai frekuensi 1 juta lebih, dan juga rata-rata nilai transaksi harinya pernah mencapai 32 triliun ya Pak Iqbal ya. Ini sesuatu fenomena yang mengejutkan sekaligus menggembirakan, yaitu bangkitnya investor domestik terutama retail di pasar modal Indonesia.
However, Friederika ensures that the existing business lines will continue to be run and improved by the company. From Jakarta, Gilang Praditya for IDX Channel.
The COVID-19 Handling Task Force asked the public to continue implementing 3M's health protocol even though vaccine has arrived, and in the next few months vaccinations will be carried out.
The arrival of the COVID-19 vaccine from Sinovac, as many as 1.2 million doses of the total order of 3 million doses of vaccine ordered by the Indonesian government, is a breath of fresh air for the Indonesians who are currently struggling to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the COVID-19 Handling Task Force asked the public to continue implementing 3M's health protocols even though vaccine has arrived. Vaccine is one way for the government to be able to suppress the spread of COVID-19 while waiting for the vaccine to be ready and finish getting an evaluation to pass emergency use authorization from BPOM.
Kita tetap harus bisa hidup dengan cara 3M, menggunakan masker, menjaga jarak dan mencuci tangan dengan menggunakan air yang mengalir. Jadi Dan juga tentunya kepada masyarakat tetap harus tahu sebenarnya virus itu kan setelah terpegang kita atau menempel pada wajah kita, dia akan masuk lewat mata, lewat lubang hidung, lewat mulut. Sehingga dia menempel ke sana, masuk ke dalam tubuh kita melalui pernafasan, masuk ke dalam paru-paru. Seperti
The task force reminded the epidemiological and WHO response regarding COVID-19, which is predicted to not be completed in the near future. This is expected to make the public aware of maintaining a healthy lifestyle and the 3M's health protocols. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
Market condition as coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situation, and here is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market lens today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. And before saying goodbye, I would like to remind you on what Mom said. Please do comply with health protocol by using a face mask, physical distancing and avoiding crowd. Also washing your hands often with soap through overflowing water. Now, Wicky Adrian, have a nice evening and stay safe.